Satellite images reveal extent of damage caused by Biden administration's first military action. The windows blew open. The building shook. At 1:30 a.m. local time Friday, a resident of al-Bukamal, a city near the Syrian-Iraqi border, was jarred from his sleep. Speaking under the condition of anonymity for security reasons, he told CNN the explosions were unlike anything he had heard before. What he likely heard was the sound of 7 500-pound bombs slamming into a compound near the border. The compound, according to the Pentagon, was used by two Iranian-affiliated Iraqi militias, Kataib Hezbollah and Kataib Saeed al-Shuhada. Before and after satellite images released by Maxar Technologies, a space technology company, show vividly just how much destruction those bombs wrought. The before image shows a compound, just over a third of a kilometer, about 370 yards, from the Iraqi border, containing around a dozen buildings of various sizes. In the after image, almost all the buildings have been destroyed, and the dirt in and around the compound blackened by the blasts. It's unclear how many militiamen were killed. Kataib Hezbollah acknowledged only one dead, without specifying where on the Iraqi-Syrian border he died. A U.S. official said, up to a handful were killed, while other reports claim anywhere between 17 and 22 people died. The Pentagon says the strike was intended as a U.S. response to a series of recent rocket and mortar attacks on U.S. and coalition positions in Iraq. On February 15, a volley of rockets fell within the grounds of Erbil's International Airport and in residential parts of the city, killing a contractor while wounding several U.S. personnel and Iraqi civilians. The Green Zone in Baghdad, where the American embassy is located, has been a regular target for mortar and rocket fire. Kataib Hezbollah has repeatedly denied any involvement in these attacks, and did so again in a statement released Friday. Pentagon officials told CNN the compound it targeted was not linked to these attacks, but Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin said he was confident it was used by the same militias targeting U.S. and coalition forces in Iraq with rocket attacks. The armed groups allegedly using it, Kataib Hezbollah and Kataib Saeed al-Shuhada, are just two of a myriad of militias that came to prominence during the war against ISIS in Syria and Iraq, filling the void left by an Iraqi army that was in full retreat. I spent large stretches of time in 2015 and 2016 with some of those militias as they battled their way north from Baghdad. Some were well organized and disciplined, others radical and volatile. Their commanders were never shy about the support they received from Iran. Yes, we declare to the world, we have Iranian advisors, Hadi al-Amari, a senior commander of the pro-Iranian Iraqi Badr brigades, told me in 2015 on the front lines outside the city of Tikrit, then under ISIS control. We're proud of them and we thank them deeply for participating with us. Nearby, I ran into an Iranian in combat fatigues, who told me in broken Arabic he was a volunteer. One militia commander told me at the time, it was better to have 4 Iranian advisors on the front line than 400 American advisors sitting in the Green Zone in Baghdad. But that was a different time. The Iranian nuclear agreement was being negotiated. The US and Iran were working, not together but in parallel, to support the Iraqi government in the fight against ISIS.